alien spacecraft did not crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947.
You know flat earthers, I guarantee it. But you don't know who they are because they're afraid of talking about it.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
Hello and welcome to the 56th annual Subliminal Deception Podcast, your weekly dose of conspiracy theory bullshit. My name is Cody, and I'm joined by my pal, Phil. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Not doing too bad. You know what the conundrum that I've ran into literally today was trying to find a vape shop where I could purchase a product because they're literally all closed around here now. I don't know if you've been running into that problem.
I have. The vape shop that I buy my fluid from normally, which is just up the street, is closed down since March 31st. So I'm having to go to one that I only buy my accessories from, which is Kidney Punchers. So I'm going to have to go there for fluid, even though it's a little more expensive. They're the only one that's open. They have an outdoor tent set up, so.
You know what? I was, yesterday I went to like 3 different businesses. They were all closed. And today, luckily, I called this one shop, really nice, mom and pop shop, and luckily, they're doing home delivery or whatever, so I bought a ton of it to try to make it the next month. So
that's good. Yeah, just stock up, I guess, because you never know when they might close down.
No, absolutely. And then, I mean, I was like, well, we could quit, but it's going to be a grumpy household for about 3 days here. So let's try to hold that off for now.
Yeah, anything that like anyone needs, if you need to smoke cigarettes, vape, if you've got that nasty heroin addiction, just keep doing it. We're just going to ride this through, people.
I can't imagine that heroin addicts, or I was actually thinking about this. Do you think drug dealers are worried about COVID-19?
Nah. I don't think so. I don't think they're worried too much about it.
Anyway, Phil, you said you had a few things you wanted to talk about before we dive in the episode here.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, listen to Bumblebutt every week, and I've heard you and Adam talking about how he's a big fan of the 2K video games, the basketball game.
Oh, yeah. He loves it.
So I was on my way home. I had to go buy some new work boots 2 nights ago, and listening to the radio, just like whatever, music. And I thought, you know what I haven't listened to in a while? ESPN radio, mostly because they haven't had anything to say for the past month. So I turned into ESPN, and they're actually doing a game. They're like calling a game, and I'm thinking, oh, it must be some kind of classic game. But the weird thing was the game had like way too much action for like a normal basketball game. And then all of a sudden I hear them say, oh, wow, this 2K gaming experience is really great. They really have blah, blah, blah. They start talking about that. I was like, oh, shit. They basically put 2K20 on simulation mode for the Phoenix Suns and just let it run. And they were commentating on that.
You know what? Honestly, I've seen a lot of that on ESPN lately, and people really like it.
Yeah. Have you run into that in like because I know you listen to ESPN radio in Minneapolis.
I haven't listened to them in so long though. Just because now that I have Bluetooth and everything, it's like I just listen to podcasts. Everywhere I'm driving and everywhere, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'd rather listen to a podcast with like maybe one commercial or no commercials than like commercials every 3 minutes.
Yeah, that lasts for 5 minutes. That's true.
Yeah, I know. I was I remember before we were recording Bumblebutt, it was either last week or the week before, I was asking Adam about 2K, and then I was telling him when I was visiting you in England, and I woke up and you were playing, and you were explaining how you can't play too good or else the computer just wins, and Adam was like, yeah, they totally do that.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Oh, I still play it. I don't have the brand new one, but the weird thing is you find an edge, like a way that the computer has like a blind spot to like start beating them, and all of a sudden they fix it. Like, it's almost like the game thinks. Like, it shuts the door on you. But the weird thing is, like I sound like a crazy person here. They don't use the other team's players to close the door on you. They'll use your own players. So your own team will start fucking up.
Oh, I mean, technically, either way, it assists them in winning, right?
Yeah, definitely. Those sports games are definitely 9 against 1. It's not 5 on 5. So, but that's the end of my rant. I love and hate those games.
Yeah, I what was the last sports game I played? I think it was like Madden 16 or 17. I think I got free with my Xbox One. So that's the last time I don't like. They're fun for a while, and then it's like I just kind of get a little bored of them. That's just me though.
Yeah, I try not to play Madden games just because of the kind of people you end up playing against, like online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the fucking level of assholes. It's even worse than like shooter games.
So you play basketball online though?
No, I don't. I just play it. I just play the My Career mode. I'm not a huge online, unless it's a shooter game. I'm not a huge online fan.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Anyway, we're gonna dive in the episode a little earlier this week just because it is such a long story. And anyway, let me tell you about it. Phil, have you ever heard of the Dear David story?
No, I have not.
Okay. So basically what this is kind of, I guess, this isn't really necessarily a conspiracy or not, but by the end of this, we'll be able to ask, is this guy full of shit or is this possibly real? And basically what it is the story of Dear David is a ghost story that transpired over Twitter involving the main individual named Adam Ellis, and his Twitter handle was at Moby_dickhead. So, yeah. It's a very interesting story. It has pictures included. It has videos included. And as you're going to see, it transpires over about a year and a half time span. So, what I would recommend is either listen to this episode in entirety and then search Dear David and look through all the videos and pictures for yourself, or look through the pictures while you're listening to this, because I find this story very interesting. Either this guy is a master storyteller, or he had some spooky paranormal shit going on in his apartment or whatever. So it's very tantalizing. Yes. I think it's one of the more interesting ghost stories that have been documented that we've heard in recent years. And I actually heard this on a different podcast like a year and a half ago, and I kind of always wanted to talk about it myself. But anyway, we'll start off here. Now, this is the very first tweet Adam sent out on August 7th, 2017. So this is, less than 3 years old at this point, so it's relatively fresh. And he typed this. So, my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it. Now, Phil, I have the link for you. Do you see the drawing right in the beginning there that he drew? Of the kid with the dented in head?
So I am right now, I just opened it, and I see the Twitter handle at MobyDickhead.
Yes.
And I'm scrolling down. How far down is it?
It's not very far down from the link I gave you. You'll see the tweets and then a black and white image of the cartooned kid with the dented in head.
Yep, I see it. Definitely a very large head for his small body, and it looks like he got in a fight with a Buick.
So you're saying the Buick probably won that fight?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely got a large, looks like some kind of object smoked him in the side of the head.
Well, we're going to learn a lot about that particular dent. It's very important to the story. Now, anyway, now David, in his first dream, the child had shambled towards him while he was in a state of paralysis. Now, Phil, if I remember correctly, you've said you've had sleep paralysis before, right?
Yep, just once.
So, did you see dented head kids coming at you by chance?
No, I saw a probably 7.5, 8 foot tall, I don't know, alien or monster or something. Big lengthy arms, big lanky legs, very thin.
That's probably scarier than this little kid.
Yeah, it's all pretty scary.
Well, anyway, just keep in mind that Ellis claims he's suffered from sleep paralysis for quite a long time, so just keep that in mind. Now, a few nights later, he had another dream involving a little girl who told him that he was dealing with Dear David. Now, the girl went on to tell him that David is dead and explained the rules of interacting with David, which are he only appears at midnight. If you see him, you can only ask him 2 questions as long as you say, Dear David, beforehand, and if you ask a 3rd question, he'll kill you. This is what the little girl told him in his dream, okay?
All right.
So a few days after that, Ellis had a dream involving David and asked him a few questions. He asked, Dear David, how did you die? The little boy replied, an accident in a store. Ellis then asked, Dear David, what happened in the store? The little boy said, a shelf was pushed on my head. Then Ellis asked, who pushed the shelf? Now, according to Ellis, David does not respond at this point, and then Ellis is immediately awoken and has the feeling of, like, crippling fear over him for asking 3 questions because the little girl said that he'd get killed if he asked too many questions, right? So
Yeah, well, technically that 3rd time he didn't say Dear David, so I don't think that counted in the little rule book.
That's a good point, actually. I figured either he asked too many questions or he was pissed because he didn't say Dear David, or maybe he doesn't answer unless you ask Dear David.
Yeah, according to the rules, it sounds like you have to say Dear David, so I don't think that one counted. So that probably saved his life for the night.
See, at this point, it sounds like a fucking creepypasta or something, right? But it's not until, like, the pictures and stuff start coming in that it gets really interesting. So, now naturally curious, Ellis begins to search the internet for the story of a little boy named David or Daniel, Dylan, Devin, or something like that, who may have died in a store in New York, right? But he couldn't locate anything. And around this exact same time period, the people who lived above him had just so happened to move out, so he decided to move up to their apartment, okay?
All right.
Now, after he did this, the paranormal activity seemed to really calm down, so Ellis thought in his mind that perhaps David was either only haunting that apartment or had lost track of him or something, right?
Yeah.
So that lasted for a little while, like we said, and then Ellis tweeted out a picture of his cats looking under the front door and claims that they had been doing this for at least 4 nights at this point, almost as if they are seeing something standing outside the door into the hallway. Now, if you scroll down a little more, you can see the pictures of the cats staring out the door hole or whatever. Now, Ellis claims naturally he got curious, so he peered through the peephole and he swears he could see something move on the other side of the door, almost like something new that he spotted it. So he opened the door, turned on the hallway light, and obviously nothing was there at all. Now, for the next few days, the cats continued to just sit and stare at the door, usually around midnight. You remember we talked about the legend he only appears at midnight. It's weird that the cats are just sitting there staring. And
yes.
And you can probably see on the link the videos of the cats literally just staring at the door, kind of meowing like cats do. And at this point, Ellis takes a few pictures through the peephole. Now, this picture here, you might be able to see it. He claims, or his internet followers claims, that you can kind of see a silhouette of something in the picture through the peephole, but again, it's a peephole. There could be a smudge. There could be anything on there. To me, it doesn't really look like much, right?
No, it doesn't.
So the pictures later on will start to become more apparent of what's in the picture and not that shitty picture there. Now,
Yeah, I was gonna say right off the bat. I mean, cats are fucking weird. I've owned a cat at one point. It was like a year, and it ran off on me, found itself a better home than mine. So I was happy with that. But cats just do weird stuff. Like, some people say that cats can see like paranormal shit, ghosts and spirits and whatever, but they're weird.
Oh, I think in their little brains, they're always looking for something to kill. So that's probably why every little thing is catching their attention. Although, I've never had any of our cats just stare outside of a door for multiple hours on end. A closed door, mind you.
Yeah, when my cat wanted to go outside, it would bother me. It wouldn't just stare out at a door, and it would hear shit outside and then go up to a window and chatter its teeth, but that's pretty much it.
See, you can see in the pictures, the cats are like trying to look underneath the door crack too, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a little, because usually cats do the thing where they put their paw under the door and try and,
Swipe or something.
do the swipe. Yeah, where they try to grab shit.
Anyway, again, the cats are just every night continuing to stare at the front door for Ellis. And one of his followers apparently has seen too many movies and say, put a salt line in front of the door to block any entities from coming in, but that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, the excellent TV show Supernatural. That's what they used a lot of salt in that show.
Did they use the excuse that a demon won't enter because they have to count every grain of salt?
No, it was just I think the salt acted just as a barrier and wouldn't allow ghosts in.
See, I was watching this movie called Satanic Panic on Shudder. You might actually be into that one. But they put salt in front of like windows and doors, and they claim that a demon or whatever won't enter your premises until they've counted every single grain of salt. So that's why
they've got they've got OCD.
Yeah, basically. So that's why they won't come in. So yeah, I don't know. Is it even possible to count every grain of salt? It'd take a long time.
That must be why it. Unless they're one of those genius kids who you basically just drop like thousands of pennies on a table and they just instantly look and count them all. But
I think those are called Terminators.
Yeah.
Or T-1000, sorry. Let me use his proper name.
T-1000s.
Alright, so Ellis decides to start using something he refers to as a sleep app and a sound app to record while he's sleeping. And on the morning of August 11th, 2017, he picks up 33 different sounds. Now, most of them were just stupid things, nothing to mention, but 3 of them kind of caught his attention. Essentially, what they are is there's like kind of static in one, you can kind of hear a thumping in another, but he has cats, so it's kind of hard to take that one serious. And another one almost sounds like a disembodied voice.
Okay.
But again, if you go to this website, you can listen to them and hear for yourself. I didn't really think it was anything of note, if I'm being completely honest. So I didn't really worry about it. Now, jumping to the following day, August 12th, Ellis claims he needs to get out of this haunted apartment for the weekend, and while taking a selfie for a post, apparently you can see a weird figure in the pane of glass. Now, you can probably see this in his pictures here. I think you're really stretching to try to put a face in that selfie picture, because I don't really see it. But I don't know. What do you think, Phil?
I think it's one of those deals where if you really want to see it and
you'll see
told where to find it, then you'll see it.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I'm looking at the panes of glass. I'm zooming in, and it's just a weird reflection coming from that window.
Yeah, I personally don't see anything yet. So the pictures later on are a lot more apparent. So some of these first ones are just kind of like, Anyway, 2 days later, on August 14, 2017, Ellis returns home with a Fuji Max Instax, I don't know how you say, Mini 9 camera. He's going to try to use this to catch pictures of the entity. So he snaps a few pictures and they develop perfectly fine. You've probably seen this camera at, they use them a lot at like weddings, I've noticed. They get the camera, people who are celebrating at the reception, whatever, take pictures of themselves, and then the couple can have them for like their scrapbook or whatever. Have you seen those before?
Yep.
Pretty common. Now, Ellis tries to take some pictures down the hall, and the weird thing is they come out completely black, like they won't develop at all. Now, he figured, hey, I probably just put my finger over the lens or something, you know, it happens. So he takes several more pictures of down the hallway, picture with his finger over the lens, and then a picture down the hallway again, and every single one comes out black. So it's really weird. Now, he also posts a video of himself taking a picture. He takes a video of him taking a picture down the hallway and it coming out black, right? So it's it shines a little light on proving that he's not full of shit. But again, an interesting thing I noted was when he took the picture, he never turned the camera around. He just set it down and took the photo. So it is possible he could have had something blocking the lens when he took the picture, but you can't see it. You know what I mean?
He didn't show that there wasn't any like shutter on the front of it.
Correct. Exactly. So it's a little bit like, you probably should have turned it around or something, but
yeah.
Now, oddly enough, he took a picture with his iPhone, right? Came out completely fine. And then he took a picture with the Fuji camera, but standing back a ways. Now, the room's illuminated, but the hallway is pitch black in the photo. Can you see that one? The comparison photos? It's down a little bit there.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so you see the iPhone one on the left, it's lit up. The one on the right is black. But again, he could have turned off the hallway light. You know what I'm saying? If you look close at it.
Yeah.
But if you scroll down a little more and some of his fans severely brighten the image and you can see the silhouette of something there, right? Can you see that?
Yep, I can see it.
So that, to me, that's kind of weird. I mean, it's possible you can stage that, obviously, but it's kind of a weird thing, seeing that weird silhouette there. There's a lot of, like, silhouette pictures in this story, so I thought that one was kind of interesting. So
yeah, it's definitely the figure of someone's shoulders and their head.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of shittily draw paint over it, but you can see kind of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like someone's standing there, but I'm kind of curious why he doesn't like the Fuji camera, but he doesn't mind the iPhone.
Yeah,
Dear
maybe
David,
it's something how it develops.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Anyway, so Ellis, on the advice of his followers on August 14th, decides he should sage and smudge his apartment. Are you familiar with this process?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so in the paranormal world, a smudge or saging, as far as I know, a smudge is basically sage wrapped up really tight, and you burn it in a place you believe is haunted, and it's supposed to cleanse the house of spirits. It's a very common practice.
I have seen that before.
Yeah, it's the belief that if you have a entity in your house or a bad entity or whatever, if you burn this smudge, take the smoke all around the apartment, it'll get rid of what's ever in there, at least for a little while. But the interesting thing is he did this, and it did help him for quite a while. According to David, he didn't have any sort of dreams at all about it, right?
Yeah.
Until he had a dream where he was like surrounded by smoke, but there was a figure inside of the smoke but it was much smaller in size, still at the chair, just staring at him. Like, if you can kind of think to the point of, like, how can I say this? Like, the smoke from the sage is, like, blocking him out from invading his dreams. If that makes sense. Maybe that's what he's trying to get at. I don't really know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So what you're saying is he dreamed that there was like smoke that was behind the smoke wall.
Right.
Is that what?
Right.
Okay, I gotcha. So he was just dreaming about the smoke.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the one thing, all of this is he's only seeing this thing with his own eyes in his dreams.
Yes,
right?
So far,
okay.
yes. So far, yes. Later on, it escalates. So
gotcha.
So far, that's all he's seeing. But it's kind of I always thought it was kind of an interesting note about his dream. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, no, it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, there's been weird shit going on. Well, what's been happening? Well, my cats are acting funny. Well, your cats, they're cats. They're gonna act funny. And I have these weird dreams, and it's like humans have weird dreams. But it's just getting to this point. This is my thinking. But if weird shit happens later on, then okay.
The things escalate throughout the story. That's why I'm saying at the very end we can kind of decide whether we think he's a genius storyteller or maybe this shit was actually happening. But we'll get through and make a decision there. So on the night of August 19th, Ellis had fallen asleep earlier than he usually would have. I think it was like a Friday he mentioned. But he would have another dream about David. This time, David was pulling him through some sort of a old abandoned warehouse. What is interesting about this particular dream was when he woke up the following morning, he had a huge bruise on his arm that you can see in the photo. Almost like David was pulling him in the dream and managed to hurt him in real life, I guess. Maybe this is like some fucking Freddy Krueger shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But can you see that in the picture, his arm with the bruise on it?
Yep, I could see it.
So, there's that. Now, the same day, he gets up and he walks to get breakfast, and he walks past this old warehouse that's used for car repairs. Now, Ellis claims he's lived here for 4 years, and every single day, this place is jam-packed to the brim with fucking cars in it. But this particular morning, it's completely empty, and the only thing that's sitting there is a single green chair, which kind of, the green chair in his room or whatever, I think that's where he's correlating it. So it's like this business or whatever just got up and packed overnight and left. That's what he's kind of pointing at. So it's just a weird coincidence, I guess. People go out of business, it happens. About a week later, on August 25th, Ellis started getting spammed by calls listed as no caller ID. Now, according to Ellis, he figured this had to be just one of those automated robocall things, right? We all get them. They won't stop.
Yep. They all suck.
Now, according to him, what you should do is pick them up and let them read the message, then hang up, then they'll quit calling. Is that true?
No, God, no. Picking up the phone is the worst thing you can do, because that means it's an active number. They're going to keep calling you.
Yeah, but they keep calling me anyway.
No, just don't answer them, and they'll slow down, and eventually, hopefully, they'll go away. If you pick up the phone, that means that it's an active number. Someone's going to pick up. So then you'll get thrown into the active rotation. Don't pick them up.
You know what call I've been getting spammed by constantly? Liberty University. Never signed up for Liberty University. Never wanted any interested in Liberty University. I don't know. They just keep spamming me over and over.
You probably signed up for something in the past and gave your phone number, and then they sold it to a group that takes phone numbers and sells them to, spammers and marketers and shit. So
that could be. They do think my name's like Crystal or Destiny or something. So
Yeah, the person who owned my number before was named Renee, and Renee apparently has the worst health problem. She has to be dead because of all the health problems that they keep sending her shit about. And even when I tell when I first got the phone number, I was telling these people like, she doesn't have this phone number anymore, blah blah blah. And then they were asking me, it was about health insurance for old people or people who are disabled and shit like that. And they're like, well, are you interested in this? Blah blah blah. And it's like, I'm 30. At the time I was 33. It's like I'm 33 and completely healthy. They were still trying to sell me insurance for a fucking senior citizen.
Hey, always a sale.
Yeah,
always be
true.
selling. What is it? I was going to say ABC, but
always be closing.
Yeah, always be closing. That's what this guy was doing right here. Always be closing.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
but getting back to this shit.
yeah, so Ellis did pick up. Now, at first he claims he listened for quite a while, but there was nothing but a little static and silence. So he listened for a while and he thought he could hear some breathing, and when he was just about to hang up, he heard a small, weak voice whisper, "Hello." So in a panic, Ellis hung up the fucking phone. I mean, that's creepy. I don't care who you are, that's creepy.
He let the demon in.
Yeah, he did.
He fucked up.
You never answer the phone. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mom. You don't answer it.
Yeah. What are you, crazy, Mom? Text me. It's 2020.
I prefer texting. I don't like talking on the phone that much. I don't know. How about you?
If I just have like some quick, like it's going to take 30 seconds and I don't want it to be a 7-hour texting conversation, I'll just call quick.
Mm-hmm. Now,
but, yeah.
Would it be creepier for you if you got a creepy text message or a creepy phone call?
Creepy phone call.
Yeah, it's a lot more personal, I think.
Yep. Because if I got a creepy text message, it's like, oh, it's just one of those the fucking spamming companies trying to fuck with Renee.
I remember, God, this was years ago, but apparently in the middle of the night when I was sleeping, I texted my one of my good friend Nick's wife, and I was like, what? And I looked at it, and it looked like some satanic writing or some shit. It was the creepiest shit ever. I'm like, I do not remember, because it was sent at like 3 a.m. or something.
That's weird. Just claim Ambien.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, sorry, I started taking Ambien recently, and I have no idea.
It's just like I was sleep texting. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that is odd.
I wish I still had that message. I should see if it's in my records. If I haven't, I doubt it is. But anyway, now on August 28th, Ellis decided to set up a pet cam for his cats that turns on whenever there's motion detected. Okay. Now,
all right.
A few weeks prior, that green chair that he had in his bedroom that David was always sitting on, he decided to do a little redecorating, and he moved that chair into the living room. Now, in the video posted on his Twitter chat, or his Twitter messages, I should say, or whatever, his tweets? I don't even use Twitter, so maybe it's his tweet. I sound like an old man right now. But if you watch the video, it's really calm, and then all of a sudden, you start seeing that chair rocking back and forth. Do you see that one, Phil?
Yeah. Do you want me to turn the video on?
Yeah, there's no sound. Go ahead and give it a watch.
Okay.
It's almost like a GIF. But you can see it just slowly starts rocking there.
Yep, I see it. Again,
All this stuff, he could technically be doing something to cause it. Okay, we're not saying that's not plausible. Now, in the next video, right down from that one, you can see you're watching it, exact same thing and everything, and all of a sudden the little turtle shell he has on the wall right above the bookcase just falls off. Just falls off for no reason at all. It's really, really weird. I don't know. I guess stuff falls off the wall eventually, but considering what he's claiming is going on in his apartment, it's a very peculiar thing to happen, right?
Yeah, definitely. I just turned that turtle shell video on and it just fell down.
Yeah, basically, pretty. I mean, if you believe in paranormal and hauntings and all this, that's pretty common. Shit gets moved or falls off or whatever. You know, it's not biggest deal in the world. So jumping to September 5th, his nanny cam caught his cats getting spooked by something, and when you look really close, basically his main cat that is the one that's getting bothered the most is named Maxwell. Now Maxwell is a 3-legged cat that I'm assuming he adopted or something, right? But in the video, it's almost like something, I don't want to say attacking the cat, but something is like underneath its leg or something, and it does a weird spinning attack thing. But if you look closely in the video, when the cat does that, that green jar on the table spins and moves a little bit. Do you see that video?
Yeah, I saw it.
So, again, kind of interesting.
The cat definitely looks at the green jar, too,
Yeah, so
when it moves.
it's, now we can say this. If you have like a wet surface and you have a glass item on there and you don't touch it at all, sometimes it is possible for them to move a little bit or whatever. That can happen to anybody. I don't know. I can't remember what they call it, but that's entirely possible for that thing to move. But how fast this thing spins and moves is a little weird, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't. So, like, condensation, if it's, like, condensation that forms underneath around the bottom of the glass, it might move a little bit, like on the water film. But it did move kind of, like, in an odd way. It spun and it did a spin and then it moved a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
it's a little weird. Again, he could fake it, but it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Now, jumping to September 11th, Ellis posted a video of him moving through his living room into the room that's past it. I'm assuming it's a dining room or something. So he goes out of frame. And then all of a sudden, the little cactus plant he had on the shelf just falls off. And the weird thing is, it's the shelf where the turtle shell had fallen off in an earlier video. So, again, I don't know what it is about this particular area that apparently the ghost doesn't like, but something's going on here. And I think that table there is the same one where, like, the green jar spun and the cat thing and the chair moving. So it's all kind of like happening in this little area right here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Well, before that's where he had the green rocking chair.
Yeah.
Now he's got I thought it was because of that green chair, but now he's got a little end table sitting where the green chair used to be.
Oh, in the cactus video, I didn't even notice that. Maybe he got rid of the green chair altogether. I don't know.
Yeah, the green chair's not sitting there anymore.
Huh. Well, apparently the kid likes the green chair for some reason. Now, on September 16th, Ellis had another bad dream about a decapitated head with its spine still attached laying right next to him. Now, he almost made it sound like this might have been a bout of sleep paralysis as well. So, dream, sleep paralysis, however you want to take it. Now, apparently, Ellis asked this decapitated head with spine, what happened to you? And the head replied to him, it feels great. Don't know. Interesting I feel like that's something you'd see on goddamn Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It feels great, the head's moaned.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Don't know.
Still, though, that's his dream.
Yeah, true. Very true. Good point. Now, after he woke up, Ellis decided to walk down to the local bodega to get some fresh air, which took him right past that warehouse I had mentioned earlier. Now, according to Ellis, as he was walking by it, something slammed on the metal door. It's like the metal grate door. You know what I'm talking about? Metal garage door.
Yep.
Something slammed up against that right when he was walking by. Now, according to Ellis, there is a grated window right next to that door. So Ellis quickly snapped a photo of the inside and ran off. Upon viewing the photos later, you can clearly see there's a bunch of insulation, a filing cabinet, and a ripped-up leather chair. Now, if you look really close at the photo and enhance it like his fans or followers would do, you can kind of see the shape of David and then two beady red eyes in the back of the picture. Do you see that?
Well, yeah. So, you see two beady red eyes. Well, I don't know.
Can you see where they drew on it?
Yeah, I see where they drew on it. So the insulation is
Yeah, I see. This is another one where they might be stretching a little bit.
so in the original picture. I immediately saw the face in the upper right hand corner.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I saw the face without them drawing on it. And I mean, I don't really see the indent, but I can see where they might think there was an indent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the face. I see the head. Yeah, the insulation being the severed head. I don't see that one.
That might be
And-
a bit of a stretch there.
That's a bit of a stretch because that's insulation. It's you're making your own things now. And then the two red eyes. I don't know where they're getting that from.
I don't know. Probably just see two little things.
Two little dots or
Yeah,
something like that.
base.
But yeah, no, I definitely saw the face, but it's weird that they drew his cartoon face over it instead of what it actually looks like, which is scary enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
Well,
actually being like the hint of like a face in that image is bad enough, but then the weird thing, they put the cartoon face on it. They could have just drawn over the silhouette
yeah.
of what it actually looked like.
See, they have a name. They have a name for this, and I should have included in here. It's basically if people want to find something hard enough in, like, say, a photo or something like that, your mind can literally project it on the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I say it all the time. If you're looking for something, you're often gonna find it, and even though it might not be there, you might find it. You know, with conspiracy, that happens a lot. And
that's a very good point.
This ghost shit too. It happens a lot there.
Right. All right. So now Ellis had been planning a 3-week trip to Japan on September 22nd, and he would depart, or he would be gone until October 5th. Now Ellis claims he was hoping this would cause David to lose track of him, and perhaps when he returned home, paranormal activity would be gone. Now, his trip was fairly uneventful in the paranormal department, except for one incident where Ellis, as you can see in the picture, came upon this weird statue, and there's a child with a dented in head, almost like a sign or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Again, he's looking for it. He found it. So when Ellis finally returned home, it seems that the activity started right back up almost right away. Firstly, he began to have electrical issues. 2 bulbs in the hallway burnt out immediately, and he had a LED backlight strip that plugged into his TV, and it started to, he described it as, he woke up and he saw a flash of light. Went out there, light was gone, and came back, light came on again, went back out there, and then this LED light had burnt out completely. I don't really know I don't know if it's something that you buy separate from the TV, or if it's the TV itself's backlight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Like a decoration light strip, or is it the TV's light strip on the back?
I've seen people with LED strips on the back of their TVs to illuminate the wall behind their TV.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's very
I think
hipster.
That's probably what it is.
He's very hipster looking, so that's probably what it is, right?
Yeah, I imagine. And he's got the kind of decorations that an old person would have in their house.
Right.
He's got a lot of weird little knickknacks and shit. So
he's definitely from New York. I'll say that, maybe. So shortly after this incident, Ellis had decided to go to a 24-hour diner and get some breakfast. When he returned home to get ready for his day, he heard weird scratching noises outside of his front door. So he held up his phone to the people, took a picture. Now, again, looking really close at the picture, it almost appears as if there's someone's ear and their head. You know what I mean? They're kind of peering in there. This picture is kind of interesting, actually, I thought, because you can kind of clearly see that ear right there.
Okay. So it's a picture of the people?
Yeah, that's through the peephole. And you can it kind of looks like Smeagol's ear or something sitting there. You see it?
I can see that. Yep.
And almost like an eye, and you can almost see a brow ridge and everything. It's kind of a creepy picture. But finally, after this, Ellis decided he's had enough. He called up his friend, who apparently must be some sort of professional, to cleanse his apartment. So he did that for him. And again, his cats weren't gathering in front of the front door. He wasn't having any weird dreams. And literally all the nightmares, paranormal, whatever, noises, everything just completely gone. It had completely stopped. Until the night of October 26th. Ellis had gotten up to grab a beer, and out of his window in the kitchen, he had noticed that someone was on the roof axis across from his apartment, just staring inside. So he claims he freaked out, dropped down, put his phone up, took a picture, and if you look at these series of pictures, you can clearly see something is standing there that looks like a little boy. Do you see that, Phil? You can see it when the illuminated one, you can see it's a little boy or something sitting there.
Down towards the bottom of like the window?
Yes.
Yep, I see it.
So basically what he's saying, he took a series of pictures. This kid appeared in only one of the pictures, and then he disappears in the next picture that he taken. So it's like a quick thing that he was there and then he was gone. But to me, it looks like a little boy or something sitting there with like a weird outfit on.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
No, I get you. Yep.
So there's that. Now, jumping to November 5th, Ellis mentions having a dream again about David. Now this time, since he didn't have that green chair in his room anymore, David instead was sitting on the reclining chair. Good choice, David. Reclining chair, much better than a rocking chair. Yeah. Ellis is paralyzed again and just watches as David is just staring at him. Now, in his dreams, he picks up his phone and begins to take pictures. And when he woke up the next morning, he had actually taken the pictures. Again, when you brighten them up, you can clearly see a child with a dented head slowly moving towards him in the photos. Now, I think these photos are so goddamn creepy.
Yeah, they definitely are. I'm scrolling past all of them now, and
they're creepy as shit, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking... So he took these while he was dreaming?
According to him, he did, yes. While he was dreaming, he took these pictures. He was dreaming that he was taking pictures, and then he actually had the pictures on his phone, according to Ellis. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking live there anymore.
So he posted these pictures, like I said. Ellis went silent for quite a bit on Twitter. When he finally came back, he claimed he was trying to figure out the logistics of the building itself. You know, find out what the hell is going on here. Now, he found out that this is pretty common. It used to be an old house that was converted into a duplex. Not that odd. So basically, in his side of the building, it's literally only him. Now, Ellis had started to hear those noises coming from above his apartment. Now, what is weird about this is that, according to him, there's no way to access the roof. And there, in the hallway, as you can see in the pictures, there's a creepy-ass looking hatch above the stairwell, but you'd need probably like I would guess, 20-foot ladder to get up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, upon a closer look, you can see that there's about through the hatch, there's about a 3-foot crawl space through this hatch before you can actually get onto the roof. So, naturally curious Ellis claims he orders a pole so he can open up this hatch. So finally, on November 28th, after being awoken by a large crash above him that he claimed sounded like a fucking bowling ball hitting the ground, Ellis decided to take his camera and finally try to open up this hatch. In the video, when he opens up the hatch, something immediately falls out. And when he retrieves it and brings it back to the camera, it's a small leather child's shoe that looks super, super fucking old.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm watching the video right now. You can probably hear it. There's a little bit of audio in the background, but I'm watching it right now, so...
Yeah, take a gander at it and let me know what you think. You can hear him kind of opening it up right now. I didn't know why he had to order a pole. Couldn't he just go buy one from like a hardware store?
Yeah.
That actually looks like the creepy fucking attic thing that I used to have in my bedroom. Remember? At
That's
my
what I
parents'
was.
house?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. The little it was a creepy ass hatch like that.
Yeah.
And then you
So I'm seeing the shoe, and yeah, that's definitely an old. It looks like it's been there for about a fucking 100 years. So
I wouldn't say that's a fresh pair of Jordans by any stretch of the imagination.
no, if he did make that, it is an exquisite fake.
Yeah.
Like that's great. Like it.
I don't know. It's weird. It is weird that the second he opens it, it falls out immediately. But
Yeah.
that'd be hard to stage that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, unless he had a ladder and he had been working towards it.
It could be. That's
I mean,
very well possible.
this might not have been the first video he shot of it. So.
That's true. That's true. You and I are remaining quite skeptical here, but it's still very odd. So naturally, Ellis wanted to get up there, so he called the landlord and said, "Hey, can you bring a ladder and see what the hell's up there?" Apparently, the landlord didn't even fucking know. So the landlord comes over, gets the ladder, peers up there, and he says, "There's nothing up here. It's just bare, empty." But he does grab one little item, and it's a small, tiny, little green marble. And marbles can be kind of creepy because it's like old-timey Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
It's what kids did for fun, apparently. Now, after this incident, everything was fairly quiet outside of Ellis wasn't sleeping that well, but he doesn't really mention nightmares. He just wasn't sleeping that well. Then on December 6th, the paranormal activity started up again. Ellis kept waking up feeling like someone had been watching him. So he set up the app on his phone that would take pictures every 60 seconds, set it on a bookshelf nearby that would be pointed at him while he was sleeping, and the chair where David would appear. And these are probably the creepiest pictures of the entire saga. Basically what it captures is David's in the chair, David, again, slowly moving towards him on the bed, and then it looks like David is standing on the bed with Ellis sleeping right there, kind of just staring right down at him. And then the very, very last photo, it's almost like David comes by the camera and you can kind of see just the top of his head and a piece of his ear and his creepy hair and everything. You see that?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the pictures now.
I think, to me, these are the creepiest pictures of all of them. Like, these ones are the creepiest ones, I think.
Yeah, you can see the top of his head. I'm watching the video right now.
Oh, like the gift of all the pictures put together?
Yeah.
It's a very, very elaborate hoax. I'll give him that if he did all this. Like, how did he get that little kid in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he knows someone with a little kid, and I'll say this. It's definitely the same kid that was in the other pictures.
Yeah. What does he go around asking people if they have a kid with a dented in head? Like,
yeah, the kid's definitely got a dented in side of his head. Like, it's pretty apparent. And it's weird though, because that last picture taken where the kid is right next to the camera, like, you can see so well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like in the picture, it looks like a super old person fucking's like hair that's all falling out and they're all wrinkly or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
creepy.
the hair is like really like sparse. Like, there's no, like, it's almost like trying to think of, like whenever Donald Trump's hair, like the wind catches it and you can see right through to the scalp because there's like no depth to his hair. It looks like that. Like, it's so thin.
Yeah, I know. I the first person that came to my mind was Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh yeah. With his, like, he's got like just a few strings holding on up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you and I probably are both gonna get to that point, but goddamn, we gotta hold out for as long as possible. Or I have to hold out as long as possible.
Yeah, you have to hold out because my hair is already. I'm shaving it down to the fucking nub already. So.
Well, you're not bicking it though.
No, I'm not picking it, but Yeah, I set up my my electric trimmer. I pulled back the guard a little bit so I could basically just get right down to the skin. So
Well, so it's going to be another month before I can get a haircut here, and that's even if they open up the state. I don't know. The cases of coronavirus are like skyrocketing right now. But
yeah,
I've considered just fucking taking my electric shaver and just going for it because my hair is a fucking jungled mess. It is a nightmare.
didn't your mom used to cut your hair?
Yeah, but I don't even think we can travel, or we're not supposed to travel in between states or anything.
Oh, really? I don't think they're gonna have fucking sheriffs at the fucking border, though.
Probably not, but to be with coronavirus, there's a lot of it that you should be use your moral compass to kind of help out the rest of society.
Yeah, just put a fucking 2-inch guard on it and do the whole thing.
I should. I don't know. I've considered it's a nightmare, but I've never shaved my head before, so I don't know.
Yeah, just do it. It's fucking very liberating. Watching all the hair fall off your head. It's great.
I'll be like Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Anyway, after this incident, between December 20th and December 26th, Ellis traveled to Montana to spend the holidays with his family. Now, he was feeling better for a while away from his apartment, but all of a sudden one night, he started to feel a little off. So he got up to use the bathroom and felt like someone was staring at him through the bathroom window. So the following morning, he got up and checked, and in the snow, you can see in the pictures, there's little kid footprints in the snow leading away from the bathroom window. Almost like, I don't know, David was there staring at him while he was peeing. I don't know, making fun of his pee-pee. I don't know. I got a bigger dick than that, Ellis. Come on. So after Ellis returned home, he continued to use his app to take pictures while he was sleeping, but nothing had happened for quite a while, until the night of January 2nd. He remembers once again having a particularly bad nightmare, and when he woke up, he looked at his phone, and there was new photos. What he sees was what looks like David either lying on top of him or floating right above him. It's kind of a trippy picture. After this, 2 more events transpired. One, Ellis was taking an Instagram selfie with a friend that seemed to glitch, and it almost appears as if a face appears in the image, which is, that could happen, I guess, in technology. The second one was a mysterious video posted of his cat, again meowing at the door, but the video was shot from the floor, and according to Ellis, he claims that he didn't post this video, it just kind of showed up on his feed.
Okay, I'm watching the video right now.
Yeah.
That's the sound in the background. So he claims he never shot this video.
That's what he claims. And they kind of lean at something where the cat turns its head and it looks like David's face is on the cat's face or something, but I didn't really see that. So I really don't know. Just kind of again, he could fake this, but I don't know. I guess.
Well, so I don't know. I don't know that much about cats, but I've heard that when cats aren't around humans, they don't meow. Because I've heard that cats only meow to get humans' attentions. Like they don't meow at each other or, Yeah. And the cat definitely turns around and meows at the phone or the camera or whatever is taking this video. So I'm guessing that there was a human
in there,
in the room somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be the ghost, or it might be David, or the human. Or someone taking a video of it. So
right. See
I just know that supposedly cats don't meow at nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because I can definitely confirm that our cats, you'll hear them meowing in a different room for no reason. And then, but then again, I've heard they do that when they're I don't want to say lost, but they're trying to get your attention or something.
Yeah, I've heard that cats only meow when they're trying to get a human's attention.
Yeah. Well, what I was hearing is they try to simulate a baby's noise or something.
Or something like I've also heard that when cats do the little like kneading thing on your leg when they press their paws into you, it's like a thing that kittens do. They're trying to be cute like a kitten to get you to like them.
I thought the kneading was that's how they get milk out of the mother's nipple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When they're a kitten, they do that, but they keep doing that because they think humans will think it's cute.
You're giving cats a lot of credit here, Phil.
Dude, I'm not a huge fan of cats, and they do a lot of. When I had a cat, I was trying to figure out what the fuck it was doing, like why it was doing all this weird shit.
It's playing 4D chess with you, apparently.
Yeah, apparently they. Well, cats think that they're smarter than humans.
Oh yeah.
They think that they're the master in the relationship. Like you are definitely their servant.
Oh, absolutely. But anyway, we just got a little bit here left. Basically, after the last event, everything was fairly quiet on Ellis's end. He claims that he left his job and was moving on to other things, but not really reporting any more phenomena like he had so many times before this. So it was a weird thing in his tweets that people were starting to think that he was possessed or something at this point. I don't really read it in his tweets, and he doesn't really mention it. It's almost like the story stopped, I guess.
Yeah.
But jumping way forward here, on June 6th, 2018, Ellis makes an announcement that the Dear David story will be written into a screenplay for a film and produced by Dan Lin, who made It, the remake, and written by Mike Van Waz, who is another apparently acclaimed horror writer or whatever. So they must have liked the story and they were going to turn it into a movie or something, but obviously this never happened because or maybe it's still happening. I don't really know how long it takes for a movie to go from like screenplay to like filming. Maybe it takes a year and a half. I have no fucking idea. But the very last thing I have right here is a possible belief of who Dear David could be, who the little boy is. Apparently there was a boy named Little Lord Fauntleroy, who was murdered in 1921, estimated to be between 5 and 7 years old, and was found dead near a pond near O'Laughlin Quarry in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I think that's how you say it.
Is it Wabasha?
No. It's Waukesha.
Okay.
Waukesha. I think it's Waukesha.
Okay.
A lot of Native American names around the Midwest here.
Yeah.
But anyway, the little boy had been struck in the head with a blunt object, and his murder remains unsolved till this day. So they think that little boy murder might be this ghost.
Where did Adam Ellis? Where did he live exactly?
In New York somewhere. New York City somewhere. I don't know.
So, is there I was just thinking that store must have been around where he lived, where Adam Ellis lived.
Which store?
The store that the Dear David in his dream, when he said that he was in a store and a shelf got knocked over on top of him. I figured that it must have been like that warehouse next door was like a grocery store back in the 50s or something like that.
I mean, that could be. I mean, okay, if we're going to believe the shoe is from that kid's time period, that has to be way before the 50s. Or did they wear leather shoes like that in the 50s?
They had leather. Let me go back to that shoe. Let me look at it again.
That looks like a fucking 1910s, 1920s shoe. But maybe they don't have records for if it's that long ago, in New York. I don't know. I would assume he's probably like a Manhattan or like a Brooklyn resident or something like that.
Yeah, that definitely does look like it's from the early 20th century, I suppose.
Yeah.
Pretty old fashioned.
So like we said in the very beginning of the episode, he couldn't find any record of a boy being murdered by a shelf falling on him or something like that, or being struck in the head. But again, if it's that old, maybe it just wasn't reported, or there's not a record of it, or who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. It's, I mean, like I I think it's a really interesting story, and a lot of the photographs are really crazy. The whole time, it has felt like a little bit of a found footage type of situation.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he started this whole like stream on Twitter or Instagram because of a weird dream he had. Like,
And he morphed it into like a big elaborate story.
yeah, well, it's almost like, why would you start I had a weird dream. Okay. And then you kind of look outside and you see something a little bit weird. But would you start an entire like stream off of that? There's also the problem with the photographs. A lot of them is you have to enhance the fuck out of them to see anything.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
I mean,
It does make sense that like if it was dark in there, you would have to brighten it up. But
I mean, I would think of it like this. If, let's say, you were experiencing paranormal stuff or whatever, you would probably go on the internet to find solidarity in other people who are experiencing the same stuff as you, though, right?
yeah,
I mean, I
definitely.
guess kind of that's why I do true crime on Bumblebutt or conspiracies on here. We connect with people who are into this stuff and they kind of give their 2 cents on it and whatever else, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but again, maybe he was doing it to try to get internet famous or whatever, which he kind of did, but I don't think there's any sort of financial gain out of it for him, outside of the movie, but I don't think that happened or didn't seem to happen. It would make a great movie though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could have just been a really elaborate storyteller. It's hard to say. Some of the pictures are really weird, but some of the other events can kind of be explained. So again, it's just like, to me, it's like every other paranormal incident where it's like, it could be this, but on the same hand, who really knows?
Yeah. It's a great story, and it's really, some of those pictures were really freaky. It could have been imagine if you found like a weird, like old, like dummy, like of a child, and like, cause it wasn't, trying to, I don't know. It's something that you could set up, but it would be really hard to set up. And would it be worth it?
Right.
Like, that's the weird thing.
Well,
Part of my brain's telling me this is all bullshit, but then another part of me is like, but those were some pretty weird fucking photographs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted in my head.
Think of it from our experience here. Remember the weird, creepy audio that appeared on one of our episodes?
Oh yeah, but that was just kind of fun. That could totally be explained away. But
Yeah,
it was pretty weird.
it's the same thing. Technically, yeah, there is a rational thing, and I'm sure there's people who thought we just put that in there for shits and giggles or something. I don't really know. But again, since we're here experiencing it, we know we haven't tampered with anything. That just magically appeared on there. But again, it could be anything. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know if I believe him or not. Some of it, to me, says paranormal, like you said, and some says this guy could be full of shit as well. But it's a very compelling adventure, nonetheless. So we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I do always have a problem when, I said it before, but whenever you have like dealing with sleep paralysis and someone thinking that what happened in your dream must also be happening in real life, or they were dreaming, so they saw like a window because they were half asleep, half awake when they had sleep paralysis. It must have been some kind of window into the paranormal world. But our brains are really they do a really good job of fucking with us sometimes. So, and you have so many chemicals running through your brain while you're dreaming, and it's fucking weird. But
I know. Now that I've been kind of working part-time, I've been getting into that nap lifestyle. And dude, sometimes I'll literally be like, okay, I'm tired. It's like 2-3 o'clock. I'm tired. Maybe I'll go take a quick nap. And it's like I wake up and I don't know if I actually fell asleep or not. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people, now that there's, people are home, laid off, or, maybe lost their job or just working from home. Everybody's kind of on that like shut-in nap life type shit,
I'll tell you what, I guarantee there's a lot more happier people in the world because getting enough rest is, I'd say, very important.
Yeah, but you can almost get too much rest sometimes too. That can fuck with you.
That's true. But I would say for the majority of Americans, I'd say they don't get enough sleep from just working too much. So maybe it'll be good for everybody to catch up on their sleep for now.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with a solid 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours. The problem is if I hit the snooze button and go back to sleep for 3 minutes, then I'm just tired as fuck. I should have just gotten out of bed and, started my day, but yeah. But yeah, about this, I mean, it's good. It doesn't surprise me. I was also going to say this too. It does not surprise me one bit that he ended the stream with trying to sell the project.
Yeah.
That's what also is kind of a little bit iffy for me, because...
Yeah. I mean, it was I think 6 months after everything ended. And maybe the directors found him and asked for the rights to his story. I don't know. It's not uncommon, I guess, for them to make movies about people's alleged real-life events. But, it doesn't look good. It definitely doesn't look good. But anyway, Phil... If anybody wants to contact us and give us their opinions on the Dear David story, where can they do that?
They can hit us up on our email, subliminaldpodcast@gmail.com. They can also get to us through Instagram. We are at Subliminal Deception Podcast on IG. That's actually the best way to get a hold of us. Cody and I also have our own Instagram accounts, I guess you call it. Mine's STPodPhil. I hardly check it and barely post anything to it. Cody, you've got a couple?
Yeah, you can follow me on Subliminal... What am I saying? You can follow me at Cody's Above on my personal Instagram, or you can follow my other podcast, Bumblebutt Podcast, or if you're looking for more podcasts to listen to, just search for Bumblebutt Podcast on the same platform you're listening to, Subliminal Deception. Yeah. The last thing we need you to do is to log on to iTunes, leave the show a 5-star review, or just, if you're a Spotify user, just hit that follow button. That's apparently as good as a 5-star review. So thank you to all of those who have taken the time to do that for us. Otherwise, I hope you guys all enjoyed a little paranormal-ish story. We're probably going to be deviating a little more from the strictly conspiracy or whatever angle. So maybe we'll be adding more paranormal and all that to this show. But otherwise, guys, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.